until the year 40. 2040. He can't be beat. He's on this great kingdom of Saudi. He's on Saudi's. John Fury fears no man. Fears no man on earth. No matter what they've done, no matter what the accolades, John Fury only fears one person. And he's not even of this world. That's God Almighty. Here I am! Any man alive wants to fight John Fury?
Talk about what we see tonight. This is what our business is. This is what all that stuff is. I can't even. I don't even want to talk about it. Talk about what we watch tonight.
John Fury completely lost control at a heated press conference with Carl Froch, turning what was supposed to be a promotional event into one of the most chaotic scenes British boxing has witnessed in years. Tables were flipped, tempers exploded, and security was forced into action as the situation threatened to spiral far beyond ordinary fight hype. But while the room descended into madness, one man remained remarkably calm. Carl Froch, the former world champion, stood his ground throughout the chaos, showing little sign that he was rattled by anything John Fury had to say or do. In fact, when Froch later spoke about the incident, he looked more amused than concerned. That contrast between the two men has become one of the...
Remember David Haye and Derek Chisora at the press conference when Chisora came to David Haye and David Haye put a right hand and a big left hook elbow onto the chin. That's what you've got to do. If somebody's coming to you and coming into your face, you've got to defend yourself. When you've got nowhere else to go, you've got to let the shots go. And if Big John Fury, the fighting man, who's never had a fight in his life, not for the last 20 years anyway, if he comes for me looking for some aggro, trust me, he's going to find
biggest talking points in boxing. Following the confrontation, Froch sat down to discuss what happened and immediately referenced the infamous David Haye and Derek Chisora altercation from years ago. It wasn't a random comparison. Froch was making it clear that if John Fury continued invading his space and looking for trouble, he wasn't...
The reason that I like that little bit of beef, right? One is because I'm not involved. And two, because Carl's not the kind of geezer who you can start saying, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And if I see you, because you can say that to me, I'm a wet lettuce. You can't say that to Carl Froch.
Wasn't planning to rely on security guards to solve the problem. The message was simple. If things escalate further, Froch believes he can handle himself. Promoter Eddie Hearn could barely hide his amusement while discussing the rivalry. Hearn admitted that from a spectator's point of view, the feud is fascinating because he's not personally involved. More importantly, Hearn emphasized something that many people in boxing...
He knows how to shout houses down and make threats and swear and all the rest of it because he creates chaos wherever he goes. And for whatever the reason, the public
already know. Carl Froch isn't someone who makes empty threats. Throughout his career, Froch built a reputation as one of the toughest fighters of his generation. Whether facing world champions, hostile crowds, or enormous pressure, he repeatedly proved he was willing to back up his words inside the ring. Hearn suggested that John Fury may be forgetting exactly who he's dealing with. Former world champion Duke...
He's always defending his kids, yeah? Point number one, yeah? John Fury should fight that Irish guy. I also have a traveller guy who keeps calling him out in London. I forgot his... Joey Egan. That fight should happen, yeah? You know, stop going around and headbutting young boys. He should fight that guy.
McKenzie offered an equally blunt assessment of the situation. According to McKenzie, chaos seems to follow John Fury wherever he goes. He walks into a room and immediately becomes the center of attention. The shouting begins. The arguments start. The tension rises. And somehow, despite all the controversy,
emotional being gets into the moment, forgets himself. You can see, excuse the bad language, but this is, you know, when you see that, this is the moment when he realised he beat up. It was that, you know, when John had done it, like, shit, what have I done? But he had to own it. I think the pressure was on. The pressure is now on John to behave himself. He's distracted. A lot of attention.
People keep tuning in to watch. McKenzie acknowledged that Fury has become incredibly effective at generating headlines and creating drama. However, he also pointed out that creating chaos in front of cameras is very different from dealing with an experienced former world champion in a boxing ring. The skills required for those two situations are not the same. Even Derek Chisora felt compelled to weigh in. That says a lot considering Chisora himself has been involved in some of the most...
Listen, if my father behaved like that at a press conference, I would put him straight and tell him it's embarrassing and it can't be happening, mate. It's a really bad look for boxing. I'm actually surprised it's been allowed to go on and happen in a place where they're at, to be honest.
Memorable and controversial press conference moments in modern boxing. Despite his friendship with the Fury family, Chisora openly suggested that John Fury should stop focusing on creating scenes and instead focus on genuine competition. For Chisora, there's a limit to what should happen during fight promotion, and in his opinion, that limit had been crossed. Former world champion Johnny Nelson also examined the incident and came to a familiar conclusion.
Froch on fighting because I'm quite sure Carl's going to rip the life out of John after today. I think John did the job. John did the job and got the excitement going, got people talking. That's exactly what he did.
John, I know he believes John Fury often becomes overwhelmed by emotion. In the heat of the moment, Fury reacts first and thinks later. According to Nelson, the problem is that by the time he realizes what has happened, the consequences have already arrived. Whether it's criticism from fans, backlash from the boxing community, or pressure from those around him, the damage is already done. Nelson suggested that someone close to Fury needs to...
I wasn't there when it happened because we was inside doing whatever we was doing, other interviews I think, and somebody showed it to me. I see John with his cut head. Look, that's not what we want. I don't want to see that happen, no one does. But I understand now both sides have made it up, they've apologised, so hopefully it's all in the past and we can concentrate what everybody's out here for.
To have a serious conversation with him before another incident creates even bigger problems. Tony Bellew shared similar concerns. The former cruiserweight world champion didn't try to defend Fury's behavior. Instead, Bellew said that if a member of his own family had acted that way at a professional boxing event, he would have immediately pulled them aside and told them to stop. Bellew has attended countless major press conferences throughout his career and understands that emotions often run high. However, he believes there are certain...
Who knows? You know, they're great at self-promoting, aren't they? And, you know, listen, you've heard it all before. You've seen it all before. When Tyson Fury fights, the whole circus comes to town and everybody just jumps on board and says the first thing that comes into their head. So it is what it is. Like I said, I don't think Froch should be disappointed with that one bit. You're not, certainly. You know, so is it good for the sport? If they're promoting the fight, simple as that. They're just promoting
standards that should still be maintained. Watching tables being flipped and blood being drawn was not something he felt reflected positively on the sport. When someone with Bellew's experience publicly criticizes an incident, people pay attention. Heavyweight contender Dave Allen focused more on the actual boxing side of the discussion. Allen praised Fury's toughness and physical condition, but questioned whether he possesses the technical skills necessary to compete with someone like Carl Froch. According to Allen, there is a significant difference between being...
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's boxing, it's family. John's John. Both goading each other. Both very personal. Both means a lot to everybody. Shouldn't have done it, but he's done.
Physically tough and being a world-class boxer. That distinction matters. Froch spent years competing at the highest level against elite opposition. He fought world champions, unified titles, and delivered unforgettable performances on boxing's biggest stages. That experience cannot be manufactured. It cannot be replaced by confidence or aggression. Frank Warren also offered his perspective after reviewing footage of the incident. The veteran promoter admitted that he wasn't present when everything unfolded and only learned the full details afterward. Seeing images of blood...
I love that John is just so confident in himself. He would gas inside of 2 rounds. 2 rounds, but if he even made it 2 rounds with Carl Froch, he would gas probably in the first round. He's 60 years old. I'm not saying he couldn't hobble about for 4 rounds or something, but he would be gassed inside of 2. Because the way that John runs...
Blood at a boxing press conference was not something he enjoyed. While both sides appeared willing to calm tensions afterward, Warren acknowledged that moments like these have a lasting impact. The images remain. The videos continue circulating online, and fans do not forget. Duke McKenzie later pointed out another reality that many observers have noticed. Whether people approve of John Fury's methods or not, he has succeeded in drawing attention to the fight. The controversy has generated enormous discussion.
And everybody knows Froch is a tough guy. And if Froch turns up, even though he's an old man now, he's nearly as old as me. No, he's not. He's quite younger than me, actually, Carl Froch. I'm 63. Anyway, but, listen, even Carl Froch, at the age that he is at, would still be enough for John Fury.
Social media is talking about it. YouTube channels are covering it. Boxing podcasts cannot stop discussing it. Millions of people who may not have cared about the event previously are now paying attention. From a promotional standpoint, that attention has value. Eddie Hearn openly acknowledged as much. While he admitted that things probably went too far, he also recognized that the incident dramatically increased interest in the fight. Like it or not, controversy sells. The rivalry is now one of the hottest topics in British boxing. But when experts begin discussing what would happen inside an actual ring,
He's behaved like a thug in a disgusting manner, and then he's able to just laugh it off and joke it off and say, you know what, anyone comes near me, they're going to get a headbutt. So it's kind of justified what he's done. He's been vindicated for what he's done, as in, yeah, it's okay to go around like that and behave like an imbecile, and then still laugh and joke and still threaten to headbutt me in belly. I've told you what I think about headbutting this too. You know that's...
Most of them reach the same conclusion. Carl Froch remains the favorite. Several respected figures have pointed to age as a major factor. John Fury is now 60 years old. His confidence remains intact, but confidence alone cannot replace stamina, speed, reflexes, or years of elite boxing experience. Analysts from the weight concept were particularly blunt in their assessment. Their prediction was simple. If the fight happened, it wouldn't last long. 2 rounds, maybe even 1. Trainer Dominic Ingle delivered an equally direct verdict. According to Ingle, Carl Froch would flatten John Fury. Not because Fury lacks
fighter to the core, so is John Fury. Listen, it's fun, it's banter, it's entertainment. Carl said to me afterwards, hey, it's all good fun, isn't it?
If they fought, who would win?
I mean, I don't think I would go against Carl Froch ever anyway.
Okay.
in a normal fight. I mean, obviously it's a long time since he's retired, but Carl Froch is a very, very, very top fighter.
That switch up there as well.
And John Fury's a big guy, right? And he's
my comments on Tyson Fury's performance against Ngannou. A lot of people thought he'd lost. He got the decision. I'm thankful that he did, because it wouldn't look good on pro boxing, would it, getting beat by Ngannou in his pro debut as a professional boxer, because he's an MMA fighter. But anyway, that's when John went for me, and it was about 3 years ago. And he got to the point where it looked like he wanted to fight. He got offered, was it 1.5 million? He said he's not asked about the money, he wants to fight for charity.
Courage. Not because Fury lacks determination, but because the difference in boxing ability is simply too great. Ingle also highlighted something important. John Fury's greatest strength may not be fighting. It may be promotion. He keeps stories alive. He creates discussion. He fuels debate. And that ability has enormous value in today's boxing landscape. However, keeping a rivalry alive and surviving inside a boxing ring are 2 completely different challenges. Carl Froch understands that